welcome. This is episode 2, part 1 of our new podcast, Against the Grain.
Yay!
I'm Mr. O, and this is Her Royal Highness, Mrs. O.
That's me.
Queen of the Andals and the First Men, the Unburnt, the Breaker of Chains.
Oh, yeah, we were just watching that, innit?
Khaleesi of the Dothraki Horde or whatever
Dragons.
it is. Mother of Dragons.
Yeah. And 17 other names.
And 17 other names in your introduction. But yeah, welcome. This episode we've got a couple of bits, haven't we, to talk about.
I'll bet you have.
Yeah.
I bet you've got a couple of things that you want to talk about.
I do tend to do quite a lot of talking. That's just who I am. I do a lot of monologuing, don't I?
You do.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah. I make no apologies for
sorry.
that. I make no apologies for that because that's just who I am. That's just me.
Who I am.
That's what we're doing here, and it's half of what we're doing here is just being who we are.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. So, the first thing that we want to talk about, and we're looking like we're on a game show. We've got all professional now. Looking like we're on a proper talk show. I've got prompt cards here and everything like that with our agenda on.
Yeah, I've got some too.
And you've got
except
some.
Mine are full of my thoughts.
Blank. You're just on vibes though, aren't you?
Listen, that's all I'm here for.
Yeah,
but I look. It looks good, right?
Oh, it looks good. It looks
there
professional. Yeah, it looks professional. Yeah, it looks like you're very, very structured and professional. You're not just here on vibes. And that's half the battle, innit? Like faking it until you make it or whatever.
Till you make it.
So yeah, a few things to talk about in this episode and in part 1. Obviously, as you know, we split these into part 1 and part 2. Part 1, we talk about sort of our traditional relationship and just the idea of traditional relationships in the 21st century. And then part 2, we'll go on to actually talk about the current state as it sort of pertains to sort of like feminism and misandry and all of that kind of stuff.
Boo.
Yeah. Right. So the first thing that we wanted to talk about for this part 1 really was it was more just a bit of clarification. This is quite often, when we talk to people, we say marriage. We are married. If you didn't know, Mr. and Mrs. O, we are married. And I mean, well, we've been married. We mentioned it last time, didn't we? We've been married for 2 years now, nearly 2 years, but we've been together for 13 years. So when we talk about marriage, we use marriage and relationship interchangeably when we're talking most of the time.
Yeah.
We're not talking about what I call and what most people call the institution of marriage. Okay. And what I mean by that is the legal standing of being married, and the contract that you sign with the government, with each other. You are in law. You are married. That's what I call the institution of marriage. That's not required for
anything that we talk about, really.
It's not required for anything that we talk about. Absolutely not. The way I look at marriage and it's the way I look at it, the way I see marriage, and I'm happy for somebody to try and disagree with me, and I'd have that discussion with them. The institution of marriage itself, okay, so the contract that you sign with the government, it is a financial contract. That's it. It really is as simple as that. And if anybody disagrees with that or wants to challenge my thought on that, they can come. But what I will say is, it's a contract, and the only thing that is enforced, okay, at the end of that contract, whether it's somebody passing away or whether it's a dissolution of the contract, so a divorce or something like that, separation, the only thing that's enforced, okay, unique to that contract, okay, is the finances, okay, assets, finances. That's a financial contract. People say, oh yeah, well, talk about kids and stuff. Yeah, but you'd get that even if you weren't married. I think it's unique to that contract is finances and assets. They're the only things that are enforced and that are enforceable by the law. Okay. So that's what I just wanted to get that sort of clarity there, because we do sort of talk about it, and when people ask us, you can tell that, you know, their question and their mindset is they're coming from that sort of institution of marriage, sort of where, you know, you've signed the contract and you are officially married and all of that kind of stuff, which does add a dynamic to it. But, you know, when we're talking, it's not just about people who are officially
It can
married.
apply to everyone.
It absolutely can apply to
apply
everybody.
to
It does
everyone.
apply to everybody. You know, what we're talking about really is
Take
you
your
know,
shoes off.
yeah,
I've been sat with my feet on the floor for about 3 minutes. And I can't.
you just
I can't go
do
on
it,
any
can you?
longer.
You just can't do it. Can you, sitting
No.
with your feet on the
I'm
floor?
not capable to do it for very long.
Yeah, so we're talking about, you know, long-term committed relationships is probably the best way to put it, isn't it? Long-term committed relationships, that's what we're talking about. So if we say marriage, relationship, whatever, that's basically what we're talking about. Anyway, that's enough of that. That's enough of that waffle, just to get that clarity out there. The next bit was, so last time we asked for people's questions and challenges even, and all of that kind of stuff.
Anything that anybody wanted to hear. Topics, questions.
Topics-wise, questions, all
Opinions.
of that. Opinions, all of that. We asked for that, and we did get quite a few opinions, quite a few positive ones, to be fair. In fact,
Yes.
more positive than negative.
We did.
Okay.
Which comes as a big surprise.
Big surprise. Now, don't get me wrong, you know, we're just getting started, so it hasn't gone viral, and we haven't got, like, you know, 100,000 comments under the videos or whatever yet, or anything like that. But no, it was nice to see some real positive comments. So thank people for that. But we did pick out a question, didn't we? We did find a question. It was from Sardia, okay, and it was the question. And you remember this? It was the what issues do you face, okay, as a traditional couple? And how do you overcome
I do remember
them?
that. I do remember that. And do you know, when I think you read that out to me actually, didn't you?
Yeah.
You read it
I
out
did,
to me the other day. And this sounds like I'm just making it up, but I promise I'm not making it up. The only issue is other people having an issue with how we live.
Yeah.
You know? Which to me that's so weird, because how can you have an issue with something that's not even happening in your house? But we went into that, in fact, last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
About, like, actually people being
So
bothered.
upset. So bothered and upset.
Bothered.
Yeah.
That's the proper word, being
Specifically at
bothered
you living your life, baking bread,
by
or
how somebody else is living.
being nice to your family and your
So
husband.
weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I'd say that's the biggest thing that I could think of anyway. And sort of, and I suppose the two go, like, you know, they're very, very similar in the topic of it. It's like, for me, because you said yourself, like, you don't get any of this. Do you know what I mean? Like, from friends, from people at work, from whoever outside and external to our marriage.
I know what,
is that you don't get any sort of opinion, do you?
Not really.
Really?
Not really, no.
I do.
Not negative, anyway.
Yeah, I do. Like, even from friends, from real friends in real life, you know, like, I gave you that example, actually, didn't I? When, like, it's happened a fair few times, you know, if, like, you know, if I'm out doing whatever it is that I'm doing that day, because I am allowed out. I had that question again yesterday.
Did you?
Oh, anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm really trying not to today. Yeah, like, if I'm out, I'm doing what I'm doing with whoever that I'm doing it with, and then, you know, I'll get a text from you or a phone call, or, I mean, this don't even happen. Anyway, go on. You know, you're on your way home or something, and I'm like, right, okay then, bye group, I'm off. And then it's like, you know, the side eye that you get. Well, you don't know.
No,
but I'm telling you, that's what happens. And you get the side eye, and it's like, well, why are you going home? And I'm like, because Moses is on his way home. Like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
Like, he's my person. I want to be at home. He's had a long day, probably. You know, I just want to go home. I want to feed him. I want to, you know, I just want to open your chest and crawl inside of it. That's a whole other conversation.
Instability.
Mosey, don't say that. I'm not unstable.
Unstable and unmedicated. Is that meme? That meme was what? Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Unstable and unmedicated. So
yeah, it's all that ages ago, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, that is a challenge. That is a challenge. Back to we'll see. We're going off.
Yeah.
And I don't think I did that time. You did that. Okay. That's your doing.
Okay.
But
tangents. We love tangents. We love a good tangent.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fills the time, makes things interesting.
It does something, but then I can't remember where I am most of the time after that.
Side eyes
I'm
from
trying.
friends when you
Yes.
say, like, leave a group. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm on my way home.
And that is kind of, is challenging actually the right word? Is challenging the right word? Or is it just a word?
Yeah, I mean,
because it's not
like,
a challenge, because a challenge is something that you want to overcome. It's something. Listen, I don't care.
Yeah.
If you wanna side eye me, or you wanna, I don't know, have an opinion about it, you have your opinion. It's not going to change how I'm living. You know, it's not going to change my house. It's not going to change my marriage. So there's that kind of an aspect. So yeah, actually, what are the challenges that we face? None.
Yeah. No, I mean, for me, so when I saw that question, I thought to myself straight away, just like you.
Yeah, it's other people's opinion.
That came to me. It's not even like other people's opinion. It's exactly what you were just saying there at the end there about, like, this. It's not a challenge to me. Literally, as in regards to me and you personally and our relationship, our marriage, I don't give a fuck what people think.
Ooh,
genuinely,
bad word.
I don't care. Like, I really don't care. I don't give a shit what people think, right? But that was the first thing that popped into my head, was like, yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, the question did say issues, you know, challenges, issues, whatever, whichever way you want to look at it, but you know, that's neither into that. So, you know, that is sort of like an issue, but for me, it's not, like I said, it's not an issue for me and you. It's the issue, and you know, it's really the stuff that we talk about in part 2. You know, we're talking about the level of, you know, extreme toxic feminist ideology and misandry, the sort of the labels and the tags and the myths and untruths of the way that we live and what it actually means and all of that kind of stuff. That's, for me, that's what the issue is, or that's where the challenge is. You know, that's why we're doing what we're doing now, you know, isn't it? It is, for me, that was the first thing that popped into my head. I mean, you know, we have challenges just like everybody else, you know. You know, you will have challenges with the work and the jobs that you do, you know, as being your sort of role, you know, as you know, woman.
Yeah.
And my role as man, we have challenges in each of our roles and stuff like that. But those things are, that whole piece is halved, isn't it, for us, really, because, you know, we've got these roles and, you know, I'll have these challenges, stresses or whatever, but I won't put them on you because that's for me to sort out. Do you know what I mean? And for me to keep on top of, and vice versa as well.
No, it's not vice versa, because as a woman, I am going to tell you.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I am going to tell you every problem, ailment and thing that ever happens in my life.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I understand. But that's just
No,
down
it's
to the
'cause we're
nature of who we
different.
are.
That's
yeah,
right.
That's just down to the nature of who we are.
It
and, you know,
is.
if I didn't understand and accept that, you know, then we'd have problems, wouldn't we? I don't even mean as in like me and you would have problems. I mean as in like society would have problems if we didn't. Well, think about what it is that we're talking about. People are trying to ignore the fact that we are different, and we're having problems as a society.
It's true.
So yeah, the sort of like the proof is out there already, isn't there? But yeah, we are different. But no, back to what we were talking about there is like that's sort of what popped into my head straight away as well, was how people are viewing things, you know, but as a symptom of like the bigger issue.
Yeah.
You know, the stuff that we talk about in part 2, really.
Yeah.
So,
Make sure you come back for that one.
And so I mean, I think probably to answer the question, then circle back and actually answer the question. In a short way, because that was.
Oh yeah, there was a question.
A long walk up a short path.
We love them though.
That was a long walk up a short path, right? To answer the question, those are the issues, really, is that wider issue. And how do we overcome them?
Yeah.
Well, we sit on a podcast talking about them in part 2 and come back for part 2 and you'll see how we overcome them.
There you go.
But it's not something for us to personally overcome.
No.
Because, you know,
we don't need to.
We don't need to.
Everything's cool.
We absolutely don't need to. Everything's cool.
Sorry.
Everything's cool, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
I know that'll upset a few.
A
few folks.
Yeah, absolutely. So, thank you for that, Sadia. That question. It's a really good question.
It was.
You know, we read it sort of like the other day. I think we had a bit of a discussion around it, didn't we? And obviously, we've just been discussing it now as well. So it's it's a good question.
There you go.
And again, to anybody, questions, comments, opinions, topics you want to see,
That's right.
just let us know in the comments of any of
Wherever you're on.
wherever you are.
Wherever
you
you
know, if you're
found
listening,
us.
watching, whatever platform you're watching this on
Yeah.
or whatever, just drop us a comment, DM, or all that
We are
kind of stuff.
reachable.
We are
reachable.
and responsive as well, aren't we? To be fair, you know.
Yeah.
So, the next bit then that we're going to talk about.
Go on. Tell us about your bits.
About me bits.
No, don't do that.
So this bit here was because what we want to do in this bit is focus, or at least have a large focus on the positive of the traditional relationship and our relationship and all of that kind of stuff. That's kind of the point, or one of the main points.
Yeah,
of this
because
segment,
I am so guilty, and like sometimes I look at myself, when I'm doing like all the TikTok stuff, and I think to myself, do you know what? You are seeming miserable because like I'm only ever like really reacting. No, I'm not. No, that is a bit much. That's a bit much to say, but a lot of it comes from like, right, I'm going to try and prove these people wrong. I'm going to try and explain this a bit more. And it's like, why are you not just talking about the goodness?
Yes.
Because there is so much goodness.
Just positiveness.
So that's what we're doing today,
Just
right?
positiveness. It's like we said, the main negativeness that we have in our life actually comes from that online thing.
Yes.
So
true.
there's more than enough goodness, as you put it, more than enough positivity to share, isn't there?
Yeah.
So yeah, we start doing that. But so what I've done here is so for those that have been following us sort of on TikTok for a while, sort of over the last year, again, mainly Grace's been making the videos over there, and we've been doing lives together, that kind of stuff. And people who sort of regularly come on those lives, and we do have quite a few regulars, don't we?
We do.
They'll know that I've been promising this book. Okay. For ages.
He's made it up. It's all a lie.
Yeah, it's just a lie. But what I did is I took an extract out of that book. So, the book's it's talking about traditional relationship, 21st century, and it goes right from sort of like what's required for one of these types of relationships, right through to how to maintain it and all of that kind of good stuff. And I've took an extract from there, sort of going through like what's required, and obviously one of the things that is required, in a traditional relationship, is a good man. One of the things, a good man. And I picked this bit, next episode we'll talk about a good woman. But yeah, I thought pick this bit, talk about a good man, because there's a lot of focus on the woman. When we get questions, when we're talking to people, they're always directed at you, aren't they?
Yes.
It's always people wondering how you cope and how you are living up to the expectation.
It's true,
isn't it? It is overwhelmingly that's coming from that sort of angle. And there's a whole other part of this, my role and sort of my or the man's side of it in terms of what's expected of us.
Yeah. What are you bringing to this metaphorical table?
What we're bringing to the table, kind of thing. No, but it's and as a person, we're not talking about assets. Okay, we're not talking about fat bank accounts and nice cars and clothes and all that kind of stuff. We're talking about as a person. Okay, the values that you're bringing as a man. Okay, as a masculine man, a good positive masculine man, and what you're bringing to your traditional relationship. And so I've extracted that, sort of like the headings out of the book, and I'll go over them briefly. To get the proper detail on them, though, you will have to see the book. And I'll keep talking about this book.
Maybe next Christmas.
When it comes out, everyone's going to be like, I thought he was lying.
Yeah.
I always thought he was lying.
That's right.
Because I've been talking about it for ages. I've been talking about it since we've been writing it.
Yeah.
I've just been,
when did you actually start that, in fact? I was thinking about this the other day. When was that? Because if you remember, you threatened to have it out before Christmas.
Yes. So started writing it probably
I don't know.
Would it be this time last year? Maybe a bit later on in the year. So
I don't
it's
know.
been less than a year that from when we started it. You know, just been writing it and stuff like that and getting different bits and pieces. But yeah. So anyway, we took that extract from there. So a good man. So this is a good man, good, positive, masculine man. What he's bringing, or what we're bringing to a traditional relationship. And the first thing up there, okay, and this might rattle some cages, and good if it does, is a positive masculinity. Yeah. I always have to say positive masculinity, and
Yes.
I hate having to say that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest now. I hate having to say that, but that's purely because they've invented this term, toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
okay?
it's true.
There is no, there's just toxic people. Right?
Wow, that's really fair to say.
No, but there's just toxic people.
Yes, because, in fact, just carry on because I can talk to you about this later. No, I can't because I'll forget. I'm sorry, I have to get it out right now.
On, then.
Because toxic, what would be the equivalent? Toxic feminism.
Femininity. No, toxic femininity would be the opposite. Femininity.
That one.
So to my mind, if we were going to give a label of toxic femininity, we know what they're saying is toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you actually look at it, all it is a toxic person taking a piece or misusing, misrepresenting, perverting a part of masculinity. Okay. And that's what makes it toxic.
Yeah.
Toxic femininity would be the same.
Got ya.
You know?
But it's weird though, isn't it, that you don't hear it that way, but you
No, it's not
you
weird.
know what I mean? Well,
Think about the work that we're doing. Is it weird? Is it weird?
That's a fair point.
It's not weird. It makes sense that we're not hearing about it the other way.
It don't make it right though.
No, it doesn't make it right. Absolutely.
It doesn't make
Again,
it right.
The work we're doing absolutely doesn't make it right. But yeah, so having to say positive masculinity, having to preface the fact of masculinity with the word positive is a problem in and of itself. But I have to do that so that people get what it is.
Yeah, that they don't go straight to the negative.
Masculinity is not inherently negative. Okay, like anything, it can be used positively or used toxic. It's the person. The person is toxic. Okay. So masculine or positive masculinity, and we are talking about those traits that we associate with being a masculine person. I say we associate. These days, the only thing that they associate with masculinity is people using it in a toxic way. But I'm talking about protectiveness, wanting to be the provider, that kind of stuff, wanting to sort of like, take the lead in situations for the benefit of the tribe or for the benefit of the family or for the benefit of the group or whatever situation you're in. Okay. That need to serve. Need to serve the people that you care about or the things that you care about. Yeah. That sort of stuff. Wanting to be the one or accepting that you're going to be the one that, has to go through a certain amount of shit, especially the physical side of stuff, physical shit. Okay, so that the people you love don't have to, and all of that kind of stuff, and that's sort of the angle that we're coming at there when it talks about that, or when I talk about like the masculinity and that side of stuff. The next thing that we spoke about is a capable man. Okay, and we talk about capability. What I mean by that is capable of looking after themselves, capable of understanding themselves. Okay. Capable of managing their own emotions and those around them. So that's where emotional maturity comes in. And I'm not just talking about what people think emotional maturity. I'm talking about proper emotional maturity. I'm talking about, being able to feed yourself and clothe yourself properly, all of the basic functioning adult things. Yeah. Okay. All of that, like, you need to be capable. Like, if you're turning up to a traditional relationship like a fucking baby, right, that needs a mother, right, then that's a problem. Like, you are not a capable man. Okay?
That's what everyone thinks you are.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's what anybody thinks that But it's right though, isn't it? That's what
Yeah.
anybody thinks that you know, whose wife or girlfriend sort of like looks after them.
Yeah.
You know, the way that you look after me, they
Yeah.
think that it's all, you're not his mother, and all of those kind of comments and whatever else. You know, as though literally I can't look after
Yeah.
myself, and it's like,
It's true.
listen, no, because I don't have to. And it's like I've said before, when this sort of comes up, and we, you know, it's mainly on lies, and we spoke about this. What we do is consensual, and it has to be consensual. Okay, the fact that we are in this traditional relationship, taking on the roles that we're doing, is consensual, and it has to be consensual. It can't be consensual unless we are capable of the basics. Like, if I'm not capable of feeding myself and I need you to feed
Wow.
me, that has degraded a level of consent, because it's a need. You know, it's a need. I need you. I'm not talking about where we're in a situation, you know, if I'm ill or whatever, and I'm talking about like as a person now. You know, if I need you to wash my clothes because I don't know how to work a washing machine, then a lot of what you would be bringing to me, it's not really consensual from my perspective. I would be in that relationship
Yeah, I hear you.
with, it's not saying that I wouldn't have an option to leave the relationship, but a bit less of an option.
Yeah.
It
True.
degrade my consent of being there. Do you see what I mean? So
That's I like the way that you worded that. Actually, I've never thought of it in that way.
yeah.
Never thought of it in that way.
So I'm
like
saying
it.
it's like you. It's the same in reverse. Like it all is. You know, it's the same reverse. Like for you, you know how to get a job. You know how to go to work and earn money. You know how to pay bills. Like, you know, you've lived alone before. You know, and you've paid your own bills. You've spoke to your
I've done grown-up things.
You know, you spoke to a landlord and agreed, you know, your rent and made sure that it's paid and made sure your gas bill and your electricity bills, but all of that kind of stuff you can do, and you could do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, if I just poof into thin air and disappeared, you'd
Don't
be able to
do
do
that.
that tomorrow. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
the fact that you are in this, that's fully consensual, because you don't need.
Yeah, I don't have to be
You don't
here.
need me for that.
Yeah.
You know.
I like it. I like it a lot.
So yeah. The next bit is, and this sort of, and a lot of this all comes back into masculinity, but the next bit specifically is the protector. Okay.
Yep. Are you going to start talking about dragons?
I think I should. I think I should.
If you know this one, you already know this one,
Yeah.
right?
So when people ask what my role is, Grace will say he goes out to work, he pays all the bills, he does all of the maintenance around the house, he drives me around, he does all, you know, the stuff that I would do, sort of like day to day.
Designate a door opener.
Designate a door opener, or a doorman, all that kind of stuff, bodyguard, whatever else.
Yeah.
But she always forgets like the main ones, which is, you know, protecting the castle from marauding armies and dragons, right? And she looks at me funny, like she's looking at that now, and I will edit the look on your face into there, right? Absolutely, I will. Okay. She looks at me. She looks gone out, and it's like, really, like kind of thing. And I just say to you, like, have you ever had a problem with a dragon or a marauding army?
And I have to say no.
And she has to say no.
I can't lie.
And you're welcome.
Thank you.
Like, you're welcome.
Thank you.
There you go.
Let me make you whatever you desire for tea today.
Yeah. So yeah, the protector. No, but on a serious note, though, the protector. And I'm just talking about there is you know, everybody talks about, you know, the protector, and especially in this kind of, it's like, oh yeah, you know, how often do you need to roll around on the floor with somebody because they've tried attacking your wife? Okay, now that's a small part of it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, when you find yourself, or if you find yourself in that situation, it's a bit like a fire extinguisher and a fire.
Yeah.
Fire extinguisher, you'll forget about that fire extinguisher
Until
and not
you
even
need
pay
it.
any attention. But when there's a fire, it
That's
will become
right.
the most important fucking thing ever, right? And it's the same with those kind of situations, right? Like, if you're in a situation where your life's being threatened, okay, and somebody said to you, what I will do is I will put somebody now between you and that danger that's threatening your life. All you have to do is cook meals for a man for a year. You would probably say yes.
Yes.
Wouldn't you?
Yes.
Right. But anyway, that's a bit of tongue-in-cheek fun there. But what it's talking about protector, obviously, is that physical kind of stuff. You know, we're willing, we are absolutely willing and capable as well. And we spoke about capable, willing and able, you know, to catch bullets and all of that kind of extreme stuff. You know, like, you know, roll around at 3 o'clock in the morning with a burglar in the front room, all of that. Yeah, absolutely. But it's also more than that. You know, it's being a presence in certain situations. Just the fact that you're there as a presence, okay, can be protective and is protective. You know, it lets people know that, like, that you're not to be fucked with, and it does, and it absolutely does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just physical either, though. We're talking about emotional and mental well-being as well. So when we're talking about these men, or us men, okay, us masculine men being protectors, it's not just about the marauding armies and the dragons, right? It's about that well-being, you know, creating an environment for us, you know, where you feel safe and you feel loved and you feel able to express yourself. Okay, same with the rest of the family, the kids and all of that kind of stuff, you know. We don't always get it right because, you know, just like men, we can be really stupid sometimes, right? Really stupid and ignorant. We can be thick, can't we? Well, we can't we? We can be stupid and ignorant. That's just
I think you all have your moments, but that's just people, though,
right?
right?
It is just people, absolutely. You know, we're all stupid in our own way. You know, a lot of men in general are stupid in very particular ways, right? You know, and especially when it comes to those kind of things. You know, but yeah, we're talking about protector. Like I said, it's not just roving armies and or marauding armies and dragons. It's everything.
Yeah,
absolutely is. Protecting the future of the family as well in any way that you can. You know, so yeah, protector.
I like it.
The provider.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. The provider. Yeah. Most people get that, and they get it nailed on because it is very, very simple what we're talking about there, being the provider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one that doesn't need complicating.
It doesn't need
Not
complicating.
Really.
It doesn't need complicating. Like, it really doesn't. You know, you are the provider. You are providing. You know, economically. And today, what we're talking about is economically, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. You are providing. You know, the money, the economy, okay, for the house, to sustain itself, at least on the most basic level.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that obviously you can't go out to work if you want to get a job and all of that kind of stuff. It doesn't you know, we've spoke about that before, haven't we? You know, on lives and stuff, because people think that that's what it means. What it means is that you are the main provider. Like, you don't have to work if you don't want to, right? And that's what it is. It really is as simple as that. Like, the provision that I give to the family is enough to sustain the family.
Yeah.
At least on the most basic level. I mean, we're lucky enough to be in a situation where, you know, it's above that. You don't get me wrong, we're not millionaires or anything like that, but, you know, we do okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. It really is as simple as that.
Yeah.
Providing.
Yeah.
Real simple one.
That's what you should
doesn't
be doing.
Need, like you said, perfect. It doesn't need complicating.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. And I think. Oh, it doesn't even matter. Go on.
Go on.
No, because I can't. I've got a thought. Oh, you know what I'm like? I can't even say what I'm trying to say with that bit. Like, when I get a thought, I need time to let it stew
To let
before it comes
to
out of my mouth,
marinate.
because I say a lot of stupidness. You know, I'm not going to lie. Why am I going to lie?
don't.
Most of these people listening to me know that already. So I don't need to lie. But sometimes I need to let something marinate for a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
Before I say
Well,
it.
we'll let it marinate then.
Yeah.
Let it marinate.
I'll forget about it again in 2 minutes when you ask me again.
Yeah.
So it's all right.
So the next one we spoke about was respect, and that's respect in sort of two areas. It's the respect that you give and the respect that you receive. Okay, both of them are obviously interlinked. Okay, in more ways than not. But when we talk about the respect that you give, obviously, the respect that you give to your wife, to your queen, to your family, okay, to your friends, the people around you, okay,
And your own damn self.
your own self, all of that, right? Basic level of human respect for everybody. Okay, so I'm a big believer of like there is a basic line, there's a basic level of respect that you give everybody, and they can either earn more or lose it altogether. Okay, but when you encounter somebody, okay, sometimes they fuck it up before you even open your mouth, before you even get a chance to show them any kind of respect. Don't get me wrong, okay, but in reality, I'm turning up to a stranger, okay, with the intention of having a basic level of respect
Yeah.
for everybody. Yeah, a
Yeah.
human level of respect.
Yeah, not many people go out and, well, wake up in the morning, do they, and think, right, do you know what it
Yeah,
is?
how could I fuck someone's day up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aim of today.
Yeah. Go out there and disrespect somebody
Disrespect.
and have a problem with them in the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so yeah, so we're talking about the respect that you give people, you know, the respect, and like I said, the respect that specifically, and when we, you know, bringing it back to, you know, the relationship, specifically that you give your wife, like, again, the lies that people have been told and the myths that people have got in their mind about how this works is as though, like, well, for me and you, is as though you're like a second class citizen in the relationship and all of that kind of stuff. And they just don't understand
Yeah.
that, do they?
I don't think they want to understand, though.
Yeah,
I really do.
that's there's that, but they just don't understand sort of like the level of respect and admiration that I have for you.
Aww.
Right? Seriously though, and that's like what, you know, what a man should be giving his wife. I say wife, remember I mentioned earlier, we're not talking about the institution of marriage, we're talking about long-term relationships, so wife, girlfriend, partner, whatever.
Significant other.
Okay, you know, the respect and admiration that you're giving, you know, that's what you need to be bringing. That's one of the main things that you need to be bringing. It's the first thing that you will bring as well. It comes before everything, comes before love. It should become before any kind of like lust or attraction, is that respect. Like I said, you start with the basic level and you build up.
Yeah.
But people don't understand, you know, the level of respect that I have for you, and that it's almost like, I don't know. I'm struggling to put it into words, and that's actually
Wow, that never
that's actually quite a thing. It's
happens.
actually quite a thing, isn't it?
Are you all right?
Struggling to put it into words. No, because I want to get it right, because it is so important. It is probably the most, or one of the most important things of being a man. Okay, in a traditional relationship, is that respect that you have for your woman.
Yeah.
Okay, it's that level of respect and love as well. Do you know what I mean? It's that level of respect and love where it's like there's nothing else that matters more than that. Everything else is so far behind that. You know, if you were to hold it up and then put everything else at the side of it, like they're not even on the same page. Do
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? And that's what we're talking about the respect that you give, and specifically that you give to your woman. The other respect we're talking about is the respect that you receive as well, because that's a good indicator of who you are. Okay? Absolutely is a good indicator of who you are, is the respect that you receive from people. Okay? The type of respect, the level of respect.
Yeah.
Okay? You need to have respect from people. Absolutely need to have respect from people. Otherwise, a lot of this other thing, or a lot of these other things, can't exist. You know? So when we're talking about things like, you know, being capable, we're talking about, being the protector and the provider and all of that kind of stuff. Like those things would struggle to exist in an environment where you weren't respected.
Yeah.
Or in a life situation where you weren't respected. So it's massively important, the respect side of it. It really is. The other thing, or the last thing really, on the respect that you receive is the respect that you receive in your relationship as well. So flip it round onto you, okay, of like the respect that you give me, okay, like that is so important to me.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? And if that was non-existent, okay, we would have major problems. No, I don't mean that. God, that sounded like a threat, didn't it? No, but what I'm saying, my point is
we're gonna have problems.
And when I was opening up with the respect bit, you mentioned respect for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, respecting myself, okay, requires you to respect me as well. Now, I wouldn't really respect myself if I was in a relationship with somebody who doesn't respect me.
Yeah.
And vice versa as well. It would be the same for you, Yeah, the respect that you receive in the relationship as well is important, and how you view that and how you deal with that. Because if that wanes, okay, or if that becomes non-existent, you're in a problem. You're at least in a situation where you need to be asking the question why. And at worst case, you're in a situation where you'd be like, right, well, this can't run. Like, this cannot run, because you can't be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't respect you.
Yeah.
Okay, especially when you respect and admire them,
Okay.
And that is again, comes back to what you were saying about the respect for yourself.
Yeah.
Next thing as well is balanced. Okay, you need to be a balanced man.
We love a balanced guy.
Balanced, and I mean balanced in every way that you can imagine. Okay, balanced in your approach. Balanced in your own well-being. Okay. You need to be balanced in the sense of, like, you can't just be charging headlong, okay, just running on nothing but a masculine fuel, okay, because the world doesn't work like that. You need to possess and understand a bit of femininity as well, okay. You need to have patience and understanding, these things that are usually more attributed to femininity. You need to have those in you as well, okay. And if you look at, I've explained this loads of times, haven't I, like yin and yang, the yin yang sign.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, that's the masculine, the feminine, the light, the dark, the warmth, the cold, all of that kind of stuff, and it's balanced. But each of them has a little piece of each in them as well.
Yeah.
And that's required to be balanced. I think that's about that. It really on balance. You do need to be balanced.
Yeah.
Balancing your approach. You can't just be headstrong into everything, especially when it comes to your relationship and dealing with your partner. There needs to be that balance there. Absolutely. And the last bit, all of that stuff there rolls into leadership or leader. Okay. You need to be capable of being the leader. There's so much to leadership that, like, we could literally do several episodes just on leadership, and not even leadership in a relationship context, just leadership as an idea and a concept, but leadership in the relationship. You need to be capable of taking the lead, be trusted, okay, to take the lead, to in whatever way that it's appropriate and needed at any given time. Straight away, what people think about, and so in the book, I think I've give like some like some like funny analogies and different bits and pieces and whatever else and explanations. And I think off the top of my head with this, what we put for this was, as soon as you say leader to somebody, immediately they think of some guy sat on a throne somewhere, everybody on their knees around him, feeding him grapes and all that kind of stuff while he's pointing and shouting at people and telling them what to do. But that's not leadership. That is so far from leadership, okay? It's actually unreal. Leadership is service, right? It is service to the people that are trusting you to take the lead in a given
Yeah.
situation, right? It's not about, being the boss, bossing people around,
Yeah.
being in charge. Don't get me wrong. Quite often you need to be in charge. You need to have a certain level of power and authority. Otherwise you can't take the lead, you know. But that trust is there, and it is a service. It absolutely is a service. And it's not an easy service either. When you think about it, when you really, really look at it, it's not easy to take the lead, quite often. And when you most need a leader is at those times when, it's difficult to take the lead, But yeah, leadership. Like I said, loads of explanation around that in the book. Funny quips and this and that lot. So, when the book comes out, eventually, this mythical book that we keep talking about.
That's right.
You'll be able to sort of...
You'll get there with it one day.
I will.
You
I
will.
Well, I mean, it's like that bit there that we've just gone through. That bit's
Yeah.
finished. Like,
Oh, well, you don't even need it now.
no, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, that bit is literally finished. Like, that I finished that
Yeah.
last year. Do you know what I mean? What do you think about that? A good man. A good
A
man.
good man.
What's your thoughts on that and some of those bits that have put in there?
Well, I'm not going to sit here and say that I think any of it's wrong, because that'd just be a bit weird, wouldn't it? If can you imagine? Can you imagine if I turned around and said, actually, do you know what it is, right? I don't agree with insert whichever point. Like, that'd be weird. Because think about it, like, all of those things just... I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to take it away from marriages, from relationships. That just makes a good person.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? That makes a good person.
Mm-hmm.
When you put that into a marriage or a relationship sort of setting, they're all the things that your mum and dad have told you are, good things to find in a person.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Like, I don't know how to word what I'm trying to say, but
To you, it's obvious.
yes.
To you, it's obvious, isn't
Yeah.
it? Or to us, it's obvious. But we find ourselves having to explain these things. And I know for a fact, if we had, let's just say we had two feminist guests here right now, right, they would have lost their shit
Yeah, I believe you,
at
I do believe
specifically masculinity,
Yes.
specifically protector and provider,
Yes.
specifically at leader. They wouldn't have
Yeah.
touched capability or respect or being balanced. Okay, the lesser ones,
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
the ones that are less need less complication,
Yeah.
but they would have lost their shit right at masculinity, provider, protector, and leader.
Yeah. I'm not even going to argue. I'm really not going to argue.
Like that,
With
and
that.
that's the thing. But this is the world that we live in. So, having to us, it's obvious.
Yeah.
But that's because of just who we are, and it's just the values we've got. But I'd say most people today, these things need explaining.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. They need explaining. One,
No.
one because they will have preconceptions of it. Like I said about the leader, straight away they're thinking, oh, that means you're the boss then, and you just... It's like, no, that's not actually what I mean. That is not it's so far from that I actually need to sit and properly explain leadership to you. Okay?
Yeah.
Or whatever, masculinity. Straight away, people hear masculinity, they think about some guy there flexing his muscles and,
Proper Johnny Bravo.
where the hose at? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, but that's not masculinity. That is
Yeah.
absolutely not masculinity. Do you know what I mean? Or that's perverted. Toxic people, okay? Perverting masculinity is what that is. So yeah, these things need explaining.
Well, I guess they do.
These things need explaining. They absolutely do. Next then, benefits of a traditional relationship. The benefits. So some of these were extracted from the book as well.
All right.
The first one I got here was clarity. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're talking about here is like the benefits of being in a traditional relationship, or the benefits that a traditional relationship or traditional relationship values can bring.
Yeah.
Clarity, roles, activities, expectations.
Yes. The fact that it makes everyone's life easier.
Yeah. One way or another.
People hate to hear that,
Yeah.
People hate to hear that. Like, how can only being responsible for 50% of something be worse? It can't. You can have 100% of everything,
Yeah.
right, and be miserable.
Yeah.
Or you could just choose a
Yeah.
little 50% and have a great time.
Yeah.
But I'm the crazy
So,
one.
no, but that's the thing. They're like, oh, you know, you're silly, you're oppressed, you're a slave, you're this, you're that, next thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you have to cook and do laundry. Very, very big oversimplification of what you
Yeah.
do. Okay, that's so.
I'll allow it.
That's not oversimplification of what you do. But no, but I'm talking about for these people, what they're
Yeah.
thinking in their head. You know, you have to do the cooking and cleaning. And they're the words that they use. You have to do the cooking and cleaning.
Yeah.
You know, so you're
Yeah.
oppressed.
You do it all.
Yeah, but like you don't have to pay the bills.
That's right.
You don't have to fix anything.
That's right.
While I'm around, you don't have to drive anywhere.
That's right.
You don't have.
I don't have to think.
You don't have
Like,
to.
let's just be honest.
You don't
I don't
have to think if you don't want to. Do
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
And I
You
don't
can
want
trust
to.
me to take the wheel, and you know that the first thing that's in my mind whenever I'm doing my role as, you know, leader or whatever, or taking the lead in a situation, is that my primary concern is your welfare and the welfare of the family. So you can trust me with that.
Yeah.
All of that kind of stuff. The same people that are saying this to you are the ones that have to do all of that.
Yeah. Sucks to
But
be
you're the
you.
one that's the slave and should be miserable.
Yes. I should be doing everything.
Yeah.
Even though they say that I'm doing everything anyway. But I'm also not at the same time doing everything because I need to do more for my own self. But you need to do more for your own self. Well, why don't we just be single then? Anyway. Yeah, man.
No, it's
You
nailed
know?
on, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the clarity that it brings, the roles, the activities.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that you know what to expect from me. I know what's
Yeah.
expected of me, and
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah. Everyone knows where they are.
Boom.
How
Like,
are we not having the best
we've
time?
literally crossed out the biggest problems in life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where it gets its power is those biggest problems in life are talking about being a functioning adult in a modern society, having to earn money to pay bills, keep a roof over your head, keep yourself and your environment clean, keep yourself fed,
Yeah.
you know, keep yourself happy, you know, well-being and all of
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Okay. Whilst finding time for, you know, for leisure and all of that kind of stuff. All of those things we have divvied up, okay, in ways that we are happy with, okay, and happy to engage with. We've literally ticked off that big headache and cloud that hangs over everybody. Bills, food, sorting the house out, all of that kind of stuff, right? We have ticked that list off.
Yep. There you go.
And in the book, I closed that bit down, and I've got it in my head because I've got it seared in my head, that bit, right? Because it's something that I came up with it on the spot. It was like almost like inspirational writing when I did that bit. You obviously weren't there, but you'll have read it. Like, once all those things are ticked, once you've sorted the bills, laundry, cleaning, cooking, all that kind of stuff, right? All you've got at the end of that is each other.
Yeah. And loads of free time.
And and the time to spend with each other.
Yeah.
Like, how
That
is that
is
not
such a great
relationship
thing,
goals
innit?
for any relationship?
Yeah.
No matter who, where, when, how. For
Yeah.
any how can that not be the goal? See what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Clarity.
There you go.
It's based on nature.
Oh, nature.
Yeah.
Why do we do that?
They're gonna because with millennials and Steve
Oh,
Irwin
nature.
was a hero.
Is that what it is? The guy with the stingray, isn't he?
Nature.
The Australian guy.
Yeah.
He got killed by a stingray.
He did.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
You probably did
He
know
literally spent his entire life rolling around on a floor with like the most dangerous snakes
Yeah.
and crocodiles in the world.
That's right.
And then this stingray that most
And then a
people
sea
didn't.
frisbee.
Then this stingray that most people didn't even know could sting you or kill you
Yeah.
was the thing that got
Did
him.
him in.
That's what did him in.
It's very bad.
That's like coming back from like war and like falling down the steps of the plane and dying.
Isn't it ironic?
Yeah, some Alanis Morissette shit. Yeah, some Alanis Morissette shit.
Don't you think?
Anyway,
Oh yeah.
proper tangent
Nature.
there. Nature. Yeah, it's based in nature. They're gonna fucking love this one. And I love this one.
Yes.
This is the biggest threat to them.
Ooh.
The biggest threat.
Not a threat.
It is the biggest threat to them.
Because they can't change
Why
it.
do you think?
'Cause it's
Yeah, but
nature.
why do you think they put so much energy into it? This is the
know.
thing that they put the most energy into.
Hold on, who's the they?
They. So
Who's
when it's like,
they?
oh yeah, so I like that. Yeah, who's they?
Yeah.
Who's they? It's always
are they?
they. Sound like a conspiracy theorist.
You do.
People with the feminist ideology
There you
and
go.
misandrists. Okay. The biggest threat to them. That's why they're trying to say that literally everything that we are as male and female is
A learned
taught,
behaviour.
Is a learned
That's
behaviour.
yeah.
It's a learned behaviour.
Yeah. Okay.
We are literally different in every way
Yeah.
except for the way that we behave. All of the nature and the chemicals and the way that we are physically built and the way that, you know, chemicals and emotions work in us and all that lot, that's all irrelevant. It's all about what you were taught at school.
Clearly.
It's all about whether you were taught by Kate Mann or Andrew Tate as to what, you know, which way you're going to go and what kind of person you're going to be. Like, it's just fucking nonsense. But yeah, biggest threat to them. So they're going to love that. But it's based in nature. Mm-hmm. It is largely based in nature.
Yeah.
Things that when we actually sit down and we ignore, okay, what we've been taught, the things that are left, the instincts and the feelings, okay? So when you look at children, and I'm talking about very, very young children,
Yeah.
before the world gets hold of them, before the feminists get hold of them,
Oh.
right? And you look at them, and they've done studies. They'll try and say that these studies don't matter anymore, but they've done many, many studies on this, okay? And you look at the sort of like proclivities, because at those ages they are proclivities, right? It's instincts, it's something that's coming from inside, of the kind of toys that they like to play with, the way that they speak, the things that they talk about, okay? And even younger, before talking, the way that they just behave, okay? Now, there are outliers, obviously, you know, but talking about in general, for the most part, boys and girls are different. And you can see that before they are taught anything about socialisation. Do you see what I mean? So, nature. Yeah, nature. But we also see this nature across the entire animal kingdom.
Across nature.
Across
you
nature.
see a whole bunch of nature in nature.
It's just nature. Nature. So we look at mammals specifically. You know, we're mammals,
Yeah.
believe it or not. Okay? And it's overwhelming,
Yeah.
the similarity in nature.
Nature.
Differences between male and female. Okay? Is there. I mean, they're trying to ignore it, or they'll throw up some nonsense animal somewhere that behaves differently or something,
Yeah.
whatever. But it's there. It's all across nature. It's in our own nature. We're taught to ignore it.
Yeah.
And that's the reason
And
why we have
override
problems.
it.
Not because you can't override it.
I know you can't.
That's the problem. And but that's the problem that we've got, isn't it? Is
Yeah.
you can't override it because people are taught to ignore it rather than acknowledge it
Yeah.
and actually nurture it into something positive.
Yep.
Taught to ignore it, and then we wonder why we've got all these problems that we're having, you know. But yeah, the next bit, longevity.
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 Long.
Yes, long.
Longness.
It's a long thing. It's a long thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, longevity.
Yep.
Okay. It's there, isn't it? I mean, in fairness, we don't ever, I can't remember us actually getting a challenge to that. When we say, it's usually you, to be fair, that's saying it, relationships based on traditional values
Yeah.
last longer
Yes.
and are, for the most part, okay, or for the large part, more successful than these, what we would call modern relationships.
Newfound fangled. Modern,
relationships.
50-50.
This 50-50 thing and this and that and or whatever
coming off
other
kids.
ideas that people have got going on right now.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
quite surprisingly, because these people argue with anything, like you will literally
Really?
drop an apple in front of them and they'll tell you that gravity doesn't exist. But they never seem to argue with that. which is actually quite
Um,
a weird one.
no, they don't argue with that. The only thing that they sort of can come up with is that, well, you know, it's always in the 50s.
Yeah.
Let's go back again to the 50s.
Oh yeah.
Well, in the
yes,
50s, they stayed
because
together because women had no choice.
And women didn't
have bank accounts.
accounts.
No one had a bank account.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate
Yeah.
it. I hate that.
Yeah,
one,
nobody
you
had a
know.
bank account.
I hate it.
People used to literally get paid
Like,
in a pay packet.
that's right.
A packet with your pay in it.
And your little name.
Right.
You had your little name.
And your name on it.
And your little bit of change
And your little bit of change in there. Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's about the only thing that they can come up with.
It's because they didn't stay. Okay, so these people that are still married now, and they were married in the 60s and 70s.
And they all got bank accounts in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. So what about them people?
Yeah. Well, they're together because they have to be.
What about the people that got married? You know, because bearing in mind that the bank account thing was 70s.
Was it the 70s or was it the 80s?
No, 70s. For bank accounts, 70s. Really? 74, 75, something like that.
Anyway.
From memory. But it's the 70s anyway.
Okay.
So, you know, we have people like, well, I mean, if you look at it, if you say 1975, okay, we literally have people who will have been married 51 years. And there are plenty of people out there who've been married 20, 30, 40, 50 years. We have some of them coming onto our lives, don't we? And say, yeah, we live by these values and we've been married all this time and all that. It's really, really good to see. Post women be able to get bank accounts, post equal pay legislation, post just about every legislation that exists today, okay, that evened up in law, that evened up women and men.
Yeah.
And they still don't want to hear that. But yeah. I mean, when we look at this, I mean, we've got some data here.
Yeah.
And you know, I'll show this on the screen for those of you that are watching this in video format. For those that listen to the audio format, we'll give a bit of an explanation. We've got a graph here with some data on it that shows on the x-axis of this line graph. Okay.
What's that?
It shows
the up and down one or the side to side one?
It shows you go along the stairs. You go along the stairs. You go along the corridor and up the stairs.
Right. So which one's X?
Anyway, so on along the bottom of the graph, okay, measuring the gap is years, number of years. So this is number of years married, okay, and it shows you. It goes up to 4, 6, 8, so forth, right up to 56. And on the side axis, we're talking about a cumulative percentage. So this is the percentage of people getting divorced. So these are divorce stats, okay. So what it's showing you is the how long these marriages are lasting before they get a divorce. You know, for the people that are getting divorced, okay. And by far, okay, the most successful thing on this, you can see people married in 1965. So pre-bank accounts, okay? People married in 1965, there's the bottom line there, which is, you know, they are the most successful people. It's only up to sort of like, you know, 20, 30% of people who are getting divorced. The next one up is 1975. Okay, so people married in 1975, so at or about, like we were just saying, bank accounts. They love the bank account thing, even though it's completely irrelevant to the discussion.
Prime
when we actually
bank
look
account,
at it. Yeah, prime bank account.
75.
1975. They are the next successful ones.
Okay.
And these divorce rates. Okay. 1985. Okay. The only people that are so far, and this is only so far, okay, more successful than are people married in 2005, believe it or not. But there's still obviously data to be collected on that because it's, you know, shorter time ago. But yeah, 1985. And then we've got 1995. And then we've got 2015. Okay. But like I said, the people that were married in the 1975, the most successful ones. So, the marriages that were more likely to be either on purpose or even just as the run-of-the-mill of things, running on traditional values, or probably more running on traditional values than what we would call modern-day values now.
Yeah.
It just shows you, doesn't it? They are the most successful.
Yep.
Really is as simple as that. So yeah, longevity. Benefits of being in a traditional relationship. And the numbers prove it. You say it, obviously, all the time. You explain it to people.
I really
but to actually
do.
run through the numbers, or some of the numbers there. Okay. And there's other different data sets and stuff like that you can look at, but they all point at the same sort of thing. And, you look at, there's another one that I've seen there, is looking at sort of like the rise in feminism and people identifying as feminists.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how that affects other things as well. And there was one where it was literally like the lines were exactly the same shape.
If you put them,
The lines
over
were
top of
exactly the
each
same
other.
shape.
Yeah.
Feminism fucking starts with its bullshit. Okay.
Yeah.
And something detrimental happens to society and families.
That's right.
Feminism falls down.
Yep.
Society and family starts to do better, or from the family perspective starts to do better. And the lines, the way that they match up I was sat there and I was like, I had to keep checking the data. Because I produced these graphs myself. I had to keep checking that. I was like, this is absolutely crazy. This is even more accurate than I was expecting it to be. But yeah, longevity. The numbers say it.
There you have
the numbers are there. You can go and find this stuff yourself. This isn't stuff I'm pulling out my arse. These source for this is Office for National Statistics, divorces in England and Wales. So it's there, public knowledge.
Yeah.
So there we have it.
There you go.
The benefits of being in a traditional relationship.
Some of. Because there's loads more.
There is. There are
There's
absolutely
loads
is. There
more,
absolutely
isn't there?
is. Yeah.
We're out of time.
We're out of time.
So we've got to go.
If you've made it this far, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Again, we've said a few times, and we always say this. We always say this because we're on episode 2.
Well, if we've said it both times, we do always say it.
Yeah. Send your questions.
Yes.
Put them in the comments, DM us, email us, or whatever. Questions, topics you want to hear about specifically for traditional marriages, traditional relationships. So, we've got our email there. We've got Mr. and Mrs. O, all one word, at mail.co.uk, or you can DM us on YouTube, TikTok, all of that kind of stuff. Other point to make as well is that you can get these now audio only. So it was just last week we put those up as audio only as well. So everywhere that you would see an audio podcast, Apple, what's the other one? Spotify, all of those.
It's all the places,
all
isn't
of
it?
your podcast apps that you wherever you get your podcasts.
That's right.
You can find this podcast just the audio as well. So for those of you that don't want to sit there
and look at us, which I mean is fair. It's fair.
That is fair. But for me personally, though, I do my podcasting. I do my podcast.
Yeah,
in the car.
listen to it in the car, right?
Yeah, I do it in the car, or in whatever vehicle I'm in.
Yeah.
Throughout the day and whatever. So it's not null time. Yeah.
Makes sense.
The other thing as well, so there's a couple other things to look at. We do have a survey that we're running. Okay, a survey that we're running from. You'll be able to access it on our accounts on social media or through the website, and I'll tell you the website in a moment. We are running a survey, doing our sort of bits and pieces of our own research into, men's issues and what we're facing today. So for men, anybody, 12 plus, okay, we'd appreciate your thoughts, filling out that survey. It's like 10, 15 questions. It'd literally take you 5 minutes or whatever, multiple choice and all that kind of stuff.
You could do it while you're waiting for kettle to boil.
Literally.
That's how quick it is.
Yeah, you can do it while you wait. Yeah, you literally could just do it while you're waiting for the kettle to boil.
We'd appreciate it.
Yeah. Really, really would appreciate it. That closes on the 7th of April. So, 2 weeks to complete it. It closes on the 7th of April. And yeah, really, really appreciate that. That's at www.mrandmrso.co.uk. So that's our new website. Okay. Go and have a look, and you'll be able to see everything that's on there. But just as a quick rundown, it's just a website where we can sort of consolidate our presence online, really, and have full control over it. On there, you will see everything from different bits and pieces of our story, the different bits of work that we're doing. Facts, figures that we talk about on these shows will be presented on there. We'll do our own reports and our own research and papers and stuff like that on there eventually. Also, as well, like we do relationship coaching. We can do sessions with people, so we get people ask a lot of personal questions. By personal, I mean as in their particular circumstance, and ask us questions and advice on that. People can jump onto video chats and calls with us if they want, and we can do that for them as well. Yeah.
There you go.
And don't forget to follow us across all the
That's
platforms as well. The links will be in the descriptions of wherever you're watching or listening this. Thank you. Bye.